How's everybody doing tonight? I'm Rosahibi from MoldersWorld.com. With me, the lovely, the talented, my beautiful, I'm not going to even call her a co-host. She is the hostess, and I'm just kind of like her sidekick and tech guy. And this is, ladies and gentlemen, is Nicky Bernal.
Hello, hostess with the mostest, like
Yeah.
Beetlejuice,
Ooh, we got some effects going.
Yeah.
Slap shit going on. All right, we'll figure shit out. My first podcast for every show is always a train wreck. And so you guys should love that shit by now.
It's just the ghost trying to creep in and make things difficult.
That's why you're down here, because we're here to on MoldersWorld.com. We talk about all the freaky shit, dinosaurs and Bigfoot and ghosts and aliens and whatever crazy shit is in the news. We put it on the website. But you've got your own story.
I do.
Okay.
A recent one.
So let's get to know Nicky a little bit.
Well, I am a stand-up comic and voiceover artist and sitcom writer. I live in LA. I'm from Las Cruces, New Mexico originally. Just recently moved back into the West Hollywood area, into a new apartment that has seen a lot of tenants kind of come and go, and I'm starting to understand why. I can't get a hold of any of the previous tenants. Obviously, that's illegal to have that type of information. But yeah, I'll let you at least show them to start off what my concern was. So now, in this picture, if you look in your cluster of hair, right,
there is a face.
Right. I took this picture originally one morning as a joke for my comedy fan page. The tag on it originally was, I don't have a problem getting up in the morning. It's my hair that does, because it looks like my hair is clinging to the pillow.
Right.
So I'm actually pointing at my hair, and that picture is actually unfiltered. And I posted it as a picture on my Facebook fan page. And actually one of my fans of my comedy fan page wrote a comment as soon as I posted it, and he was like, do you know that there's a face in your hair? And that's when I zoomed in on it and I saw it.
Okay, now there was more than one picture though, right?
Right, there was several in sequence that I took, about 4 just like quick flashes. Obviously girls always gotta get that picture, right? But as I started scrolling through the pictures after he had called out that face in my hair, I noticed that the face was actually like floating upward, like it was leaving out of the picture. So it didn't stay stagnant in one spot, and I could actually see if you look at
all right,
yeah.
hold on, because this is starting to sound like like fucking Crazy Town already, and we're like 30 seconds into the podcast.
Right?
You're from Mexico, so I'm guessing
New Mexico.
Oh, New Mexico.
Yeah.
All right.
There's a difference. The newer ones we
is
cook,
there?
We cook, but we don't clean, so we're not spick and span.
She'll be here all night, folks. Okay, my question is, is your mom? Where's your mom from?
My mom is actually from New Mexico. Both my parents born and raised.
Where do you get your Latin girl type of appearance then from?
I don't look that Hispanic. I'm actually
not that Hispanic, but I'm just saying.
I'm Mexican, Spanish, Native American, and Irish.
Here's what I'm getting at: is superstitious countries.
Okay.
Lots of religion. Okay. Is there that in your upbringing?
No.
Well, then I don't got anything. Shit. Fucking give me something to work with here. Is mom religious?
They're Catholic. My parents are raised very Catholic.
Okay. So you need a foundation for the belief.
I'm a very spiritual person.
Okay.
I am. I believe in energy. I believe in positive, negative energy and that type of spiritualism. I don't know if I really believe in, a specific God or Satan, but I do believe in an afterlife and energy, and that our bodies contain a vessel and a point where positive and negative energies can come in and out of us.
Okay. Then...
And I'm Native American, so most Native American
right.
families have that kind of psychic intention. Like, I do get deja vu a lot.
Right. Because, this is hard for me because I'm kind of, not very religious, even though it's I come from, Iranian background and a Filipino background.
Okay.
And both sides of each family are both very religious and pretty committed, and so I'm just kind of torn religiously and spiritually and blah blah blah.
I'm right there
so
with you.
So, But there has to be a foundation of belief before you can believe that there are such things as hauntings and possessions and faces showing up in your hair.
Right.
Okay. So there's more, isn't there?
Right. I have had some, different spiritual encounters, obviously with family members. I was really, really close to my grandfather. I actually pretty much held his hand for 48 hours until he passed away. And that was when I was 25. So that was 6 years ago. Okay.
Anything weird happen there?
Yeah, he had a stroke. Wasn't really speaking, wasn't really eating, I would only eat even insure unless I was there. Like I literally had to feed it to him and put the straw in his mouth. But I do remember because I literally sat with him 48 hours straight, and I'm not the type that breaks down or cries very often. And that's why my family kind of made me responsible to stay with him. Because
you're the tough chick.
Yeah, exactly. My grandmother couldn't take it. So I do remember I was sitting next to him holding his hand, and I remember thinking in my head, I was like, please, 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 just don't forget me when you leave. And all of a sudden I heard him say that he wouldn't.
Wow.
Like I literally heard him and looked, and he was still asleep.
Mm-hmm.
And then my grandmother, literally 3 seconds after that happened to me, her and my dad come in and they asked me to leave because my dad said, I want to spend time with my dad. He was like, the doctor said he'll be fine till the morning, go study, do whatever, come back in the morning. So as soon as I left, literally 5 minutes on the road, he passed away.
Oh, tough.
Yeah.
All right. I don't want to get into bummer shit right now.
No.
So weird shit happens to you.
Yes.
Okay. Some weird shit's happened to me too, but I don't know what to make of it yet.
Right.
What do you make of these ghost shows then? When you watch all these like ghost shows and paranormal shows, you have a close friend that's like that hosts one of them.
Right. My best friend, Dana Workman, is actually the co-host of Sci-Fi's Haunted Highway with Jack Osborne.
Right.
So she's been on a lot of locations. She's really into the paranormal, really into the supernatural, really into aliens and everything else. X-Files was her favorite show as a kid. So, she'd always send me really creepy pictures from them being on site at different places. They visited the museum where the Chucky doll, the original.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the teddy
Just
bear.
learned about that motherfucker.
Yeah, the teddy bear. I forget what his name is, like Ted or something. Not Ted.
Yeah.
Robert the bear.
No, Ted was that dirty fucking teddy bear in that one movie.
Yeah, Robert the bear.
Yeah.
They actually went to that museum and saw Robert the bear. And it was crazy because she was telling me that the museum curator literally, when they went into that room, told them all, do not take a picture of this bear unless you ask its permission.
Now, I heard this, and there's actually videos on YouTube of people asking the doll for permission before they take their picture, or whatever. So I guess it goes back to like a slave family and some voodoo and shit like that, and they gave it to the owners of the house, and this doll has inspired The Conjuring and the Chucky series, and I guess a lot of weird shit happens around it. How did we start talking about fucking dolls?
I don't know.
Last week I was having a conversation, and dolls creep me the fuck out.
Right.
I don't know why.
Well, Robert the Bear is actually what Chucky's based on. The one from The Conjuring is actually the specific doll that they're talking about. Its name is Annabelle.
Oh, that's right, Annabelle.
Yeah, but the Annabelle doll actually kind of looks like a Raggedy Ann doll. So it's two different dolls that two different movies were based on. But yeah, supposedly they're kind of vessels for spirits.
Demonic spirits.
Demonic spirits, yeah.
So there are two types of spirits, right? Spirits that like originate from Earth, and then demonic ones which have never been of this earth or whatever.
Right. And supposedly the difference is that demonic possessions, they don't actually possess inanimate objects. They possess people. They just use inanimate objects to make you think that that object is possessed so they can get closer to you and possess a person.
Okay.
Right.
So in a way, they use it as a vessel, but in a way it's like a type of possession.
Right. It's kind of like a worm on a fish hook.
Okay.
Right.
So what the fuck is going on in your apartment?
Well, so when I moved in, it was a really cool space. It seemed kind of abnormal for the area. It was actually pretty cheap, considering that it was, 2-bedroom, 1,600 square foot, vintage Spanish fourplex, bottom floor. But we got it really super cheap, and I knew it was an old.
It's always the start of the bad fucking movie. It's like, wow, why is this
such a great deal?
Cheap?
Yeah, we got it in foreclosure.
Yeah,
yeah. But so I took the master bedroom. My roommate took the guest bedroom, and I have 2 cats. First of all,
right.
So the first sign that something wasn't right was within like the first week of moving in. My younger cat literally started like biting its hair off. Like it started losing its hair to the point where its tail was almost bald. I had vets come check out my cat and they couldn't find anything wrong. I put her on anti-anxiety medication for pets, which seems weird. It's like giving a pet Xanax.
You have any extras?
I know, right? Like horse tranquilizer.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, she literally would not stop biting and licking her hair off. And both of the cats would literally like stare at doors and stare at walls and then like freak out and run around for no reason or go run and hide for no reason. So that was the first thing that kind of like creeped me out.
Before you go on to the second thing,
okay,
staring at walls. That's
right.
Another big movie thing. Like it always starts with, okay, we got this. I doesn't sound like it's going to end well for you because it starts with, we got such a great deal. I wonder why.
Right.
Okay. And then the next thing, you can't get the pets to cooperate with you. That's always the first thing.
Right.
And then the next thing that happens is the weird shit starts to happen to you. So I'm guessing we're getting there on number 3. And if that's the case, I'm going to tell you what the 4th act is, and you're not going to like it.
Well, the problem too is like the neighborhood's really noisy, so I was trying to use that as like an out. Me and my roommate were actually thinking of trying to sublease the apartment or try to find other people to come into the apartment. But when we contacted the landlords, they would not let us, which was kind of weird. We had no options. My roommate even at one point asked them if we could just, buy out the lease. Mm-hmm. He was willing to just front the rest of the money and pay it out, and they said no. Like most landlords, what landlord's going to say, no, don't give me 20 grand up front and go move into another place? They literally did not want that apartment empty for some reason. And we still have no idea why, but that's...
Because the demon demands it of them.
Of them. It's controlling them.
Right?
It's weird. It's really, really weird.
Oh, I don't like how this is going for you. So has there been a next step?
Yeah, a couple different ones. So my roommate actually is not living there right now. I can't give his name or really talk about it. But so he started having very bad anxiety attacks in the apartment and night terrors, and it led him to an extended drinking problem because he couldn't sleep at night. So literally, he moved out of the apartment to kind of deal with an alcohol abuse problem that led from anxiety attacks that he was having in the apartment and night terrors that he was having in the apartment.
Wait, I thought night terrors were only for like infants and toddlers.
No, adults can have night terrors. Like he would literally wake up screaming.
Like possessed adults?
I don't know. Well, it's like dreams. You see things in your dreams that just scare the heck out of you to the point of waking yourself up screaming.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
And the only way he could stay asleep was if he drank himself to sleep. So it led to a problem.
Interesting.
Yeah.
By the way, did your echo go away? I think I fixed that for you too.
Nope,
all right,
it's perfect.
Cool.
Oh, now it's back. Ooh.
No, it's not. I just fucked something up.
I was talking shit about the demon, and now it's just like,
right. You can't talk shit about the doll.
No.
Mm-mm. Okay, so dolls are creepy as fuck.
Yeah.
Pets stare at walls when shit's about to go down, but you always start off with the cheap rent or the foreclosure deal of a lifetime.
Right.
The next step is your roommate starts getting affected. If you're the lead character, you're putting it off for a little while. You're like, oh, this is just coincidence. So in the movie, you're taking notice,
right?
But you're not sold because you're committed. You're like, you still love your place. You're like, I got this great deal. I love my place.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with it. This is just all coincidence. Then you take some pictures Or was there something before the pictures?
There was some stuff before the pictures.
Oh, fucking great.
Yeah. Different areas of the apartment, the lights were flickering a lot. I had no idea this was even a sign of anything until my best friend clued me in. But I was having to replace light bulbs all the time. Even this past week, she's been staying with me, and we'll put a light bulb in, and literally within like a week, it'll burn out. We've probably gone through about 4 different light bulbs. And yeah, so that's one weird thing. And then
does shit like get turned around or not end up in the same place, or
there's things that always end up missing that we just don't find again, like little things, candles and scissors.
Is your boyfriend a klepto or anything like that? No. All right.
No.
Okay, so you're starting to like convince me that there's something wrong with your place.
Right.
Like, I wasn't buying it at first, like, oh,
right.
You got it for cheap. Can't talk to the early tenants. The pets got sick.
Right.
But legitimately, and this is, I remember you moved like just recently. This is all like in the last 2 months, right?
Yeah, I think this is like the 3rd month I've stuck it out. But yeah, it's gotten to the point where it did start creeping me out, obviously, because a bunch of my friends, obviously, when I first started, talking about it, the picture was the next step, obviously. That's when I saw, obviously the face of my hair from my fan telling me. And when I started showing my friends, they were kind of obviously skeptical.
Right.
One of my other friends, Sarah, came over one night, and she was like, "Oh, it's just something with your picture." I was like, "No, I'm starting to hear things upstairs." And she goes, "Well, you have people that live upstairs." I go, "Yeah, but they're not always home." And like, we could hear walking back and forth. And she kept asking me, "Are they home?" And I go, "No, they're not home right now." And we literally walked outside, and all the lights were off and their cars were gone. And you could hear like walking. And I go, "Watch this." And so she came with me, and I walked towards the bathroom really, really slowly. And you could hear the footsteps following me wherever I would go.
Okay, now that's the part. That's the part when the demon says, "Get out."
Yeah, and I don't listen.
And you don't listen, right?
Yeah.
And now like month number 4.
Yeah.
You're when you kick into the 4th month, you're in for a shitstorm. So I think we need to plan the movie now.
I know, right? Before something bad happens.
Yeah,
and I'm not here to tell the tale.
We should start setting up cameras. I mean, that's the subject of my next movie, I think, right there.
That's why you're doing this right now, just so you can have video documentation before I die.
Yeah, exactly. I'm doing it because the podcasting world needs you. You're a fucking stand-up comedian without your own podcast.
Oh, man. I can't hold down a guy, but I can hold down a demon in my apartment.
Nice. Wait, so is a relationship on the rocks since you moved into the apartment?
No, mine's okay. I do. It's so funny, though, because I'm not an angry person at all. Like, I don't have mood swings or anything like that, but it seems like every single little tiny argument we've gotten in is in my apartment. Like, all of a sudden, it'll just, like, come over me. And so, yeah, it's gotten to the point
now. Have the dreams gotten weird? Like, the one guy had the night terrors, alcoholism. It was a bad trip all the way to the end.
Right.
Have your dreams fired up? Has shit come to you in your sleep?
That's the funny thing is I'm not a dreamer. Like normally, I've always
just
had
in life.
No, I've always had a problem with like REM sleep and getting my mind to quiet. Yeah. So it's funny that you mentioned that because I thought about it about a month ago. I was like, when was the last time I had a dream? And it had been years, like literally years. And I now like will have weird, really awkward dreams about people I don't even know. I can't really remember them when I wake up, but you wake up from sleep and you've had a dream. You've been seeing things in your head. And I've never really had that since I was a kid.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty fucked up situation.
And I need a space heater in my room now.
That's just going to catch fire.
No, my room's always freezing. And what's funny is the cats always try to get in my room for some reason, or they always try to get right by my closet, which is weird. And it got to the point like where I didn't even want to sleep in my room. I've slept in my living room a couple nights.
The closet could be the portal to the other world.
Maybe. Because the other weird thing is I would purposely leave the light on in my room because when I come home, I wouldn't want to like even go into my room dark and try to turn on the light. So I would purposely leave it on like all day if I was going to come home late, and it would just be off. And I'd ask Dana, I'd be like, did you turn off the light in my room? And she'd be like, no, I haven't even been in your room, I swear. And the lights would just be off. Dude,
I think that's kind of awesome.
Okay, cool. We can switch.
Yeah, well, I live in the basement of my mom's house, and you know,
At least it's safe.
I just sit here and talk about Star Wars in my basement and play video games. So,
yeah,
you know,
well,
you got a way better life.
Well, that's why I'm fortunate. At least I travel around and do comedy. At least I'm not home 24/7. That's probably why it hasn't like done anything to me like it did to my roommate. Because my roommate, if you think about it, he was gone during the day because he had a desk job. Then he would come home at like 6 o'clock and be home the entire evening into bed, like into nighttime. And I'd come home at like 2 or 3 after a comedy show and just kind of go straight to bed. But I wouldn't have that whole evening time to let things affect me. And I wasn't in the house as long as he was.
Dude. So your roommate's still there?
Yes.
He hasn't packed his bags after that shit?
Well, no. He basically just, he's dealing with obviously his problems right now,
which we just broadcasted to the world.
No, because I haven't talked about who he is. Not many people. None of my friends even had met my roommate. This is somebody that it's kind of like one of those situations where you don't really know the person. You just kind of try to find somebody that's looking for
that's also a movie too, by the way. You know.
Yeah. We also out of nowhere throughout the house too. It's weird. I try to keep it as clean as possible because we started getting like little gnats and flies out of nowhere. They'll just be around the apartment, and I'll be looking around like I haven't left food or fruit or left anything wet, and I literally have to go through like gnat and fly spray like Raid all the time because they're just everywhere.
I saw that shit in Amityville. Yeah, this whole thing is Amityville.
You're just gonna be renting out night stays.
Dude, I'm gonna just set up. I was like, I don't need a budget, nothing. I just gotta camp on your living room floor, and I got my next film.
I know. We're probably gonna start at the point where we take pictures if we hear or feel anything, because as Dana's done when she worked for Sci-Fi for Haunted Highway, they always take pictures to see if there's orbs in the pictures. So we haven't gone that step yet because I'm kind of scared to do that. I'm sending
cameras home with you.
I'm scared to do that.
Yeah? I'll do it. You don't want me to tell you the results, though, I imagine. Like if I got some freaky shit.
If it's like Conjuring where you see things following me and have hands on my shoulders, then no.
Like how fucked up would it be if I took a picture and the demon face shows up in like every picture? Like in the door, in the fucking curtains.
Yeah. People always seem to be sick at my place, too. Like... I always think it's my cats, you know, people with allergies, but I never had allergies until I moved into this apartment. And they would always tell me, oh, you know, it's probably just mold or whatever because it's old. It's, you know, it's hard to remove stuff like that from an old apartment. But I was never allergic to my cats. Now I always have like sneezing fits and coughing fits. It's weird.
Oh, that's insane. Well, we got to get pretty intimate with your living details right here on the very first podcast.
That's how we roll. How we roll.
We're not going to hold back. We're going to get people to know you, and we're going to get some crazy people to come on the podcast. We're going to work out these little fucking annoying details of sound, because I'm seeing other sound issues pop up on my board as we're talking, and it's distracting me, and But you know what? Every first one is a train wreck, but we're having a good time.
We are.
And before we take off,
we need the viewers. The viewers need to watch this podcast. Tell your friends, because I need to eventually pay for an exorcism at my place.
There you go. But you know what? There's a lot of people in our audience that probably do shit like that and have that kind of stuff lined up anyways, ready to go.
Yeah, they probably want to.
Once we put it out there, it's like it's going to be out there. But what's going on with you know what, let's wrap this one up. We'll record another show.
Okay,
let's record another show for later release, and we'll see everyone later. This is our pilot test run, episode 0, the Mulder's World podcast with Nicky Bernal. You know what, as long as I've known you, do I say your last name right?
Bernal. You said
Bernal,
it
right?
Bernal.
Okay.
Yep.
I just never say it. I don't think I've ever said it out loud.
Yeah, it's like burn all.
Burn all.
Burn all.
Burn all the fucking
Burn all the freaking
furniture.
demons to the ground.
Yeah. All right, peeps.
I didn't say that demons.
We'll have music, I think, and stuff like that, and whatever cool shit we can think of in the next few podcasts as they come up. Probably not the next one because we're gonna record the next one right now.
Podcast.
Right. Let's put up our logo. Hey, we got a logo.
That's the logo.